Enter Pandoria, where strategy and artistry collide, and every move shapes your destiny. Pandoria is a territory-building and economic strategy board game that incorporates diverse mechanics such as tile placement, area influence, enclosure, and hand management. Designed by Jeffrey D. Allers and Bernd Eisenstein, with illustrations by Matthias Catrein, Javier González Cava, Christian Opperer, and Lukas Siegmon. This second edition was published by Irongames in 2024, building upon the foundations laid by the original edition in 2018. Set in a vibrant fantasy world, players assume the roles of various realms, competing for dominance in the newly discovered land of Pandoria. After a devastating attack by the goblin hordes shattered the peace among the 5 realms: elves, mages, dwarves, halflings, and humans. These factions found refuge in an uncharted territory. Here they seek to establish their civilizations, reclaim resources, and outshine their rivals. Players will expand their territories by placing tiles and deploying workers to gather resources: crystals from mountains, gold from hills, wood from forests, and glory points from cities. The game encourages cooperation amidst rivalry, as players aim to earn the most glory and emerge as the strongest realm in the burgeoning history of Pandoria. Let me teach you how the game is played, and I'll give you my final thoughts afterward. Tutorial. Components: 1 double-sided game board, 1 rulebook, 5 realm tableaus plus 4 promo realm tableaus, 10 custom cards, 2 for each realm, 44 common cards, 1 starting player tile, 13 monuments, 4 point tiles, 2 starting double tiles, 48 double tiles, 8 single tiles. Player components: 4 leaders, 1 each in 4 colors, 8 castles, 2 each in 4 colors, 16 markers, 1 each in 4 colors for wood, crystal, gold, and points. Setup: 1. Game board. The double-sided game board features Pandoria A and the river B. Players can decide which side to use based on the desired game experience. The board illustrates the fertile land of Pandoria, which players will explore and settle. 2. Player preparation. Place the game board at the center, shuffle the realm tableaus, and distribute 1 to each player. Choose the game version: Side A for beginners or Side B for the complete game. Shuffle all cards and create a face-down deck, drawing 4 cards to place face-up in the card market. Each player then draws 4 cards from the top of the face-down deck into their hands, keeping them hidden from opponents. 3. Resource markers. Each player selects a color and takes their corresponding leader, workers, markers, and 2 castles. Players begin with different numbers of workers based on the total player count. Players place their resource markers on their starting locations, depending on which realm they have received. Players also place their scoring marker on the 0 space on the score track. 4. Tile placement and distribution. Randomly place the starting double tiles on the designated spots on the board. Mix the remaining double tiles, and allow players to draw 1 tile each. A set number of double tiles will be randomly removed from the game based on the total player count. Mix the single tiles face down and form a stack. Place the point tiles next to the board. 5. Monument setup. Organize monuments in descending order based on their values, and remove some based on the number of players. 6. Starting player. The youngest player takes the starting player marker and begins the game. How to play. Players take turns in clockwise order, executing the following actions in order. 1. Place a double tile or castle. Players must position a tile adjacent to at least 1 existing tile. The tile must be entirely placed on unoccupied tile spaces. If a region is closed, remove all workers from that area. A region consists of 1 or more adjacent spaces of the same terrain. Notes: workers remain on castles and ships, even after they have been completely surrounded. When playing with side B of the board, the players move their worker leader that are on completely surrounded ships immediately to the next vacant ship on the river in a certain direction. If there are no more vacant ships, the playing piece returns to its owner, 2. Place or remove a worker. Players may deploy a worker onto the newly placed tile, or remove one from the board. The leader is always the last piece to be placed, unless otherwise stated. Each space on the board may be occupied by one playing piece only, and no piece may be placed onto a closed region. 3. Play a card or erect a monument. Players may use a card as a spell, or building, or erect a monument, paying the respective costs. Slide used spells underneath your realm tableau at the top right corner, and slide constructed buildings underneath your realm tableau at the bottom, in one of the 5 slots. You may construct another building on top of another constructed building, paying the difference, with a minimum cost of 1. Monuments can only be erected on top of an already constructed building. The monument costs 8 minus the cost of the building you cover, the difference. You earn the depicted glory points from the erected monument. Notes: spells are one-time use effects that trigger immediately after use. When playing with side B of the game board, players may cast the spell Astral Ship for 8 crystals. That's printed on the game board instead of performing this action. Please note that you get the discount in crystals that's depicted on the ship itself, regardless whether or not you have cast the spell from the board itself, or you have played the Astral Ship spell card. Constructed buildings have various effects. You may never construct an identically named building that you already own. A monument may never be overbuilt. 4. Score closed regions and then buy a card. If a region is closed, scored based on the workers directly adjacent to that region, all applicable players may earn the rewards. Then only the player who closed the region or regions may follow up by buying a single card from the card market. If a card was purchased, refill the card market back to 4. 5. Draw a double tile. If a double tile was played, draw a new one from the stack. Closing a region and scoring. A region is considered closed when surrounded by other types of terrain or boundaries. Scoring occurs when a region is closed, with all players who have directly adjacent workers, leaders, receiving benefits based on their resources and count. You score the product number of the depicted icons multiplied by the amount of your workers. Leader counts as 2. If any resource marker goes beyond 10, you score 1 glory point for each 3, rounded down. Terrain types and uses. Forests. Wood, used to construct buildings or erect monuments. Mountains, crystals, used to play spell cards. Hills, gold, used to purchase cards from the card market. Cities, glory points, straight up glory points. Exit paths. If a region is connected to an exit path of the same terrain, this region is never closed and therefore never scored. End of game. The game concludes at the end of a round where no double tiles are left to draw. Players tally glory points based on their remaining hand cards and resources. Each remaining hand card earns you a single glory point. Each 3 of each resource type earns you a single glory point, rounded down. The player with the highest amount of glory points is declared the winner of Pandoria. Unique realm abilities. Each realm possesses unique abilities that add strategic depth, allowing for varied gameplay and interactions. Game modes and variants. Beginner's game mode. Players use side A of their realm tableaus, plus lighter game rules. Complete game mode. Players use side B of their realm tableaus. Advanced game mode. Players play with the unique realm abilities and side B of their realm tableaus. Partnership game variant. Family game. Family game with spells. And that's how you play Pandoria. Now let's dive into the differences and changes between the first and second editions. Changes. The second edition of Pandoria, released in 2024, features several updates and improvements. The game board is now double-sided, offering more gameplay options. The designs of the 5 realms have been refreshed for a modern look. The cover art is brighter and friendlier, enhancing the overall appeal. The cards have a slightly different size for improved handling. Some realm characteristics have been revised to enhance balance and gameplay experience. The rulebook has been expanded by 4 additional pages, providing clearer instructions and more comprehensive guidance. The starting player tile has been newly designed for a fresh aesthetic. Having played the original release of Pandoria back when it first launched, I can confidently say that the second edition has only enhanced my enjoyment of this fantastic game. The experience it offers reminds me of the classic board game Go, where the primary objective is to capture territory. In Go, the strategy revolves around encircling as much area as possible, capturing opposing stones along the way. Similarly, Pandoria's gameplay revolves around strategic territory building, making it a delight for fans of strategic board games. The gameplay in Pandoria is exceptionally solid and tons of fun, with a depth that keeps each session engaging. Players must carefully plan their moves, strategically deciding when to deploy castles, and which terrains to surround to maximize their potential for scoring resources and points. The interaction with opponents adds another layer of strategy, as players must also block scoring opportunities to prevent others from gaining an advantage. One of my favorite mechanics in the game is tile placement. It's executed brilliantly, and I absolutely love it. The strategic nature of the game ensures that every decision counts. Additionally, the various card abilities and effects available allow players to customize their round tableau, enhancing the gameplay experience. The spell cards come in handy at crucial moments, demanding that players thoughtfully manage their resources. The replayability of Pandoria is impressive, especially with the unique realm abilities and various game modes, including the partnership game variant, which is also a fantastic option to explore and I highly recommend. Each realm plays differently, providing a fresh and exciting experience with every session. The game is dynamic and fast-paced. While it doesn't have the complexity or tension of Go, it remains a delight to play. Whether you're playing with 2 players, where a complete game in advanced mode can take about an hour, or with 3 to 4 players, where it may stretch closer to 90 minutes or 2 hours, the game remains enjoyable. The competitive element shines at 4 players, while it can be thoughtfully strategic at 2. The artwork in Pandoria is gorgeous. The illustrations pop, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the visuals across all components, from the cards to the realm tableaus and the game box itself. The game looks incredible. Although the iconography is somewhat clear, a player aid would be beneficial for new players, especially regarding the various spell and building effects. This would enhance the experience during the initial games. The components are standard but serve their purpose well. I particularly enjoyed the different meeples included. They were definitely a highlight. While the game box lacks an insert, all components fit snugly inside. Overall, Pandoria is an incredible game that I always look forward to playing. It was one of my favorites in 2018, and I'm thrilled to see it return with a new second edition, offering even more content. I'd be delighted to play it at any time. Jeffrey D. Allers and Bernd Eisenstein have created a standout title in the world of tile placement games. Having collaborated on various projects including Alia Ekta S, they continue to impress. If you enjoy games like Yellow and Yangtze, Salamanca, Carcassonne, or any of Jeffrey's titles such as Citrus or Gankimono, Pandoria is sure to resonate with you as well. The game is truly a gem, and I'm excited for new players to discover it. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, take care. Peace.